Hi there, Leonard Parker here. In this video, I'm going to go over how you can use YouTube ads to promote your restoration business. Now, the purpose of this video is more of an introduction to YouTube ads. So just introducing what they are, the different ad options that are available to you, and what are some best practices if you are considering incorporating YouTube ads into your overall digital marketing strategy. Now, I won't be able to go into the nuts and bolts of creating a video ad campaign. If there is interest, I can make a separate video, but I don't want this video to be too long, so I have decided to leave that part out. Now, what are YouTube ads? And pretty easy question. So they're pretty much YouTube's version of Google Ads. If you're not aware, Google owns YouTube, and so you pretty much would manage a YouTube ad campaign from your Google AdWords dashboard. You can get different placements on YouTube. Some of those different placements include TrueView Ads, PreRoll Ads, and bumper ads. And I'll go into each of these here in the next few slides. So TrueView Ads. So these are the standard types of ads on YouTube. You only pay when viewers watch at least 30 seconds of the video. So very good to capture people who are potential prospects or have high potential to be potential prospects. And there are two types of ads. You have your video discovery ads, and then you also have your in-stream ads. And I'll show an example of both here in a minute. TrueView ad requirements, they must be at least 12 seconds or between at least 12 seconds and no longer than 6 minutes. I find the happy medium is, maybe around 90 seconds. 6 minutes, unless it's something that's very of much interest to that viewer, it's not likely that they will view that entire 6-minute segment. Now, for the non-skippable versions, they must be between 15 and 20 seconds. So one important thing I forgot to mention here with your TrueView ads, you could actually set these to where they're skippable. So you've ever seen an example, and I'll show a screenshot here in a minute, where the ad will come up before the video you want to watch, but then you'll have, it maybe takes, I think it's a 5-second countdown, and then you just click the skip ad button, you can go to your video. So those are TrueView ads in action. So this is one example of a TrueView ad. So if you're ever watching a video and you see something with you'll see a little yellow or gold ad label, that's a discovery ad. So you treat that as you would image ad on Facebook, or if you're using Google's display network, any image ads you're doing there. And as you can probably guess, it's very important that you have a thumbnail image that catches someone's attention, but you also optimize your ad copy to, again, catch someone's attention and to get that click. Now, the other type of TrueView ad is your in-stream ad, and these are pretty common. This is one I saw when I was watching some football highlights. But you can see this is an ad for Discover Card. As I said, this one is 15 seconds, and this one is actually non-skippable. So, you have to actually watch those full 15 seconds before you can go on to, or the viewer can go on to view their requested video. And so I'll get into some best practices with these types of ads here in a minute. Pre-roll ads. So pre-roll ads are the second type of ad on YouTube. They're non-skippable, and they can play before or during the middle or after the main video. So these ads can be 15 to 20 seconds in length. Mid-roll ads, which I personally don't like because I do feel they have a negative impact on the user experience on YouTube, but they can be great for pattern interruptions. So if someone's watching a video and then they just see this ad, well, either they're going to hate it or love it, and they're going to watch. But it's always good to test out these different types of ads to figure out what works best for your restoration business. But these mid-roll ads, they have to be at least 10 minutes or longer. And just one important thing, pre-roll ads are very similar to advertising on Google, the Google AdWords platform. So whether you're doing traditional ads there or LSA ads, they're sold on a cost per click basis. So you're only charged when someone actually clicks the ad. So with your pre-roll ads, and this is the same for TrueView, you can include people, you can include dialogue, and you can include other elements that really reflect your brand. So best practice for a pre-roll ad, so you pretty much only have that 15 seconds to capture that viewer's attention. So highly recommended you use these types of ads if you're promoting limited time discount. Maybe you're offering a discount on your carpet cleaning services or anything like that. These types of ads are great for that because you have a direct call to action that they click it, they can go to your website or go to your landing page to take advantage of that promotion. So this is one example of a pre-roll ad. So this is a State Farm ad that played before a Gordon Ramsay video. The third type of YouTube ad is a bumper ad. And these aren't as common. So you might have not seen as many of these. And I recommend, just by the nature of restoration services, that you stick with PreRoll or TrueView ads. But if you can figure out a way to broadcast your message, promote the message of your company within 6 seconds, then bumper ads, of course, are another type of ad you can test out. Now, I wanted to pull up an example here just so you can see what a bumper ad looks like. So this ad is actually promoting, I actually had to go to another YouTube video to find one, but this ad is raising awareness for global warming. You'll see here they basically are able to communicate that, and I think so effectively within 6 seconds. So I'll just play the video. So pretty good. So this ad was made in 2017, and basically the message of the ad that by 2040, the swimming pool, there's no water. I'm not sure what happened to the poor guy who was diving in it. Hopefully he's okay. You can see kind of the background, how it's now all pretty arid. So pretty much communicating the message of global warming and how that can impact our major U.S. cities. But again, for restoration services, I recommend sticking with TrueView or PreRoll ads. Now, why would you use YouTube ads for your restoration business? And again, I think these are best used for non-emergency services. Of course, if someone is in an emergency situation, they're probably not hanging around YouTube just looking for looking for a restoration company to work with. They're probably busy on Google or within their network or working with their insurance company. They're definitely taking a more active approach to finding someone who can help them. But for something like carpet cleaning, where it's not something I necessarily need to do today, this week, or this month, that user, that prospect does have time to kind of identify their options and make a decision. So going back to the question, why would you use YouTube ads for your restoration business? Well, YouTube, the reach is enormous here. We're talking about the second largest search engine behind Google, and video is one of the most popular content formats for lead generation. And this applies to YouTube, it applies to your landing pages on your website, to Facebook, and so on. So video can be a very powerful medium because there's just something about seeing that person on screen, hearing them talk. You feel that you have a stronger connection with them. Check out our sales video tips YouTube video here, where I kind of go into why that is. But video can be a great way to build trust with that viewer before they even contact you. YouTube can influence purchasing behavior. So, if you can identify the behavior of your target audience, you can put well-placed videos, kind of you're almost in their head. You know what they're thinking, you know what they're going through, and you can put a video out there that addresses that. And that can have a strong influence on your prospects' purchasing behavior. Easy ad metric tracking. So if you are running traditional or LSA ads or LSAs, it's just as easy to track as AdWords. The metrics are a bit different, but Google makes it very easy to monitor and view these metrics. Advanced targeting. So you can target similar to the Google Display Network. You can target by age, by gender, by interest. So if you know that your key decision maker is the woman of the household, who she's maybe a mom, she's a wife, maybe she's over the age of 30, you can include that in your targeting criteria. In-market targeting, so people who are researching the services you offer. So this is a great targeting strategy because you know these folks, they are looking for services like those that you provide. So you're pretty much, getting in front of them when they need you or when they're looking for you. Better than TV ROI, a wide range of pricing options. So TV ads, if you do have the budget, they can be pricey. And just a side note on TV ads, if you are running TV ads, you might want to try out programmatic advertising, since many people, especially millennials who are now becoming homeowners, are now cutting the cord. Programmatic advertising does give you a little bit better control on who you're targeting. So you don't have that spray and pray model with traditional TV ads. But kind of going back to YouTube here, you can get visibility for your restoration company on cents on a dollar compared to even Google ads. Google ads, they can be $100 per click. YouTube ads are a lot more cost effective. So definitely, if you are already running ads, it's a good idea just to allocate some budget to creating a great video, but then also to run ads with that video. And one other thing about if you have or you are doing TV advertisements, you want to approach your YouTube video ads or the video content for your YouTube ads a little bit differently. Whereas with an ad segment on TV, you have, defined time frame. So I guess, people can still turn the channel, but with YouTube ads, the user has a lot more control. So you need to make sure that you do something in that video, early in the video, you do or say something that really catches their attention so that they view the ad and they're more likely to click it or at least view the ad in full. So like I said, non-emergency services are great for YouTube ads. So when people have a little time, a little runway to kind of shop around, YouTube ads can be great. When should restoration businesses use YouTube ads? So ongoing campaigns for regularly occurring promotions. So depending on your services, you might be offering a discount, every few months or even every month. YouTube ads are great for that. Proactive campaigns. So when I mention about emergency situations and users that aren't likely to go to YouTube they're probably not going to have time to watch YouTube videos. However, if you live in an area that's prone to natural disasters, so as I've said in many of my videos, I'm in Houston. So of course we're prone to hurricanes and flooding just about every year. If you see in the forecast that hurricane is about to hit your target area, or at least one of the areas that your company serves, then you can start running YouTube ads, maybe a week out or 5 days out, so that people at least have the opportunity to see your brand before the disaster actually hits. So you're top of mind, and if your YouTube ad was memorable enough, they'll remember you when they're looking at their options to help them get back to normal. You want to trigger times during the year for your target audience. So many people, they may need carpet cleaning services or other non-emergency services when they're moving, or when they're moving into when they're moving from their place or moving into a new place. So for homeowners and renters, some of the peak times of year are the fall or spring. So if you do offer services, that typically people who are just moved into a home or just moved into an apartment or leaving an apartment or home that they avail, then it's a good idea to run during certain times of the year. So how to create a YouTube ad campaign. So you'll pretty much follow the same process as creating a traditional ad campaign. And when I say traditional, I mean, your AdWords or your LSAs. You want to link your AdWords and YouTube accounts together. So if you don't have a branded YouTube account, meaning a YouTube channel that has your company name and also has some other videos on it, I suggest you do that, and then you link that channel to your AdWords account. You want to configure your general campaign settings. So set your daily budget. I actually like to set a campaign budget over a course of 30 days. So let's just say just to keep the numbers easy, over the course of 30 days, my budget for YouTube ads are $300. But maybe some days I don't spend $10 a day. So in that case, I want to spend more on other days so that I can make sure I'm hitting that budget. But whatever the case, especially if you're just getting started and you're testing the water, start small. And then once you figure out the combinations that are working, scale up and put more investment into your ad spend. You want to set your target locations. So you want to make sure that you use specific zip codes. That way you have better data on, if you're getting 80% of your leads from 20% of your zip codes that you're targeting, well, either to one, eliminate those zip codes that you aren't getting leads from, or your other option is to up your bidding so you can up your impression share or your visibility. I'm using marketing nerd speak. Up your visibility in those zip codes where you are getting the most leads and jobs. And then step 5, pretty obvious, but you need to upload your video. So just make sure that you're following best practices, making sure that you're telling a story instead of what you would do on TV, telling a story about your brand so that you can really catch someone's attention right away. So to close this video, I'm going to go over some best practices when restoration professionals are dipping their toes into YouTube ads. Like any marketing campaign, you want to track your metrics and goals. So depending on your goals, maybe that's just to increase brand awareness. Maybe you're new to the space or new to the area. Maybe, you're really trying to generate leads, or maybe you're just trying to really get people into your promotional offer. That way you can upsell them other services once you make contact with them. Whatever that is, you want to make sure that you're monitoring towards those high-level goals. And some kind of lower-level metrics you want to stay on top of are engagement. So likes, shares, views, which these can be a bit of a vanity metrics. Of course, conversions are a lot more important, but you have to start somewhere. And when your videos are getting likes, getting shares, getting views, that's a good early sign that that video content is engaging. And maybe if you're not getting the conversions, maybe you just need to make a few tweaks to the video so that not only are you getting the engagement, but you're also getting the conversions as well. You want to look at your view through rate. So how much of your video are people or viewers watching? And this is really related to engagement, but depending on where your call to action is in your video, you want to make sure that people are watching through that call to action. And if they're not, converting on the call to action, well, that's another question, another problem to solve. But you at least want to make sure that they're watching the video long enough to see your offer. You want to monitor your low performing placements. So if there are placements that either on YouTube itself or on other websites that are using the Google display network, if there are low performing placements, you want to remove these, or just figure out how you're doing your targeting to get better performing placements moving forward. You want to use custom thumbnail images, and this is very important, especially if you are using the TrueView discovery ads. But as you saw on that, I'll go back here to that screen. There's a lot for the viewer to look at here on this page. So you want to make sure that you're using a thumbnail image that's going to catch their attention. So what I like to think about, look at the colors of YouTube. So, pretty white and plain. And then kind of, if you do have a chance to look at other discovery ads, look at what type of ads are really catching your attention and use kind of those same ideas for your ad. But you kind of want to have some pattern interrupt. So using colors different from those that are on screen. That's kind of like a default way to draw more eyeballs and attention to your discovery ad. Now, if you're not the greatest artist, I know I'm not, there are a couple of software programs that I use to create great thumbnails and just images in general. The first would be Canva. Canva, they offer a free option, but to get the full features, it is a paid tool. However, you don't have to be Leonardo da Vinci to go in there and create something that looks great. They already have a lot of pre-built templates that you can take and just customize to your restoration company's brand. The other would be Snappa, and Snappa is also a paid tool. And I think if you're doing anything with social media, even if you're doing different posts on your Google My Business page, either of these tools would be a great addition to your marketing arsenal if you have an in-house marketing person, so that you can really check out what's going on there, or help them do their job better, I should say. Use cards for calls to action. So cards, you've probably seen these before, where at different points in a video, there'll be a little pop-up on the screen that has some type of call to action. Sometimes that's to subscribe to the channel. Sometimes that's to watch other videos. Sometimes it's to link to an external page, so linking, taking viewers from the YouTube video to your website. Whatever the case, those stand out, so test those out to see how they work for you. And then use call to action overlays. So definitely a link to your important lead generation pages where people can submit their information to become a lead in your pipeline. And then the last slide here is just a few more. Create an end screen for your video. So create some type of end screen to bring a conclusion to the video. You also, I think ESPN, I'm a big sports fan, ESPN does a great job of this, where they'll usually have one of their show hosts pretty much give a vocal call to action, subscribe to our channel, or check out our other videos. So whatever your interests are, look at YouTube channels that are doing great in that, and maybe just copy their approach. Make sure that you're targeting unique viewers with negative remarketing. So you don't want to show ads to the same viewers over and over again, because there is a point where they're going to get tired of seeing you, and that's going to do your brand more bad than good. And this can be tough if you live in a area where the population isn't huge, because you just don't have as many people to target. But try to consider, you don't want to show the same viewers the same video over and over again. Enable users to skip the video to eliminate irrelevant prospects. Because remember, you only pay when someone watches 30 seconds of the video. So if usually that viewer is going to know right away if your video ad is irrelevant or not, and give them that option to skip. That way you don't have to pay for that view. And then kind of adding on to point 3 here, you want to use a call to action and put it later in your video. That way, if they've watched a certain length or a certain percentage of your video, you know that there's at least some high level interest there. And that's when you want to hit them with that call to action. That way, when you're paying for that click, you know that at least that person, that viewer, has some interest in what you are offering. So hopefully this has been a great introduction to YouTube ads for your restoration business. As always, if you have any questions, if any of this has been over your head, this is the type of work we do for our restoration clients every day. Just give us a call at the link or at the number in the slide here. I've also included the number in the video description. And we can set up some time to chat so that we can get your YouTube ads and your overall marketing strategy going in the right direction. But thanks for watching. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, we put out marketing content to help you succeed and get more leads to grow your restoration business. So thanks for watching again, and take care.